Hi, it's Danny and welcome to the All Holden and GM Day, hosted by the Monaro and GM Club of Tasmania, but looking pretty boring out there at the moment and dull. Where are all the Holdens? I know how to fix this. Let's turn the ignition. Ah, that's better. Time to check out some cars. I better look for Greg. He's a bit of a Holden nut. Apparently he's at Holden HQ. So I found him. How are you, Greg?
I'm pretty good, Danny. How about yourself?
Oh, pretty good. Now, apparently, at 13 years old, you bought your first Holden.
Oh, actually, it wasn't a Holden, mate. It was an Austin.
It was an Austin?
It was an Austin, yeah. I bought it off my grandparents.
Oh.
They bought a new car, and I always liked the car as a kid, and used to clean it and polish it. And they told me, you can have the car, but we've just bought a new battery which costs $25.
$25.
$25, and you'll have to pay us back for the battery when you can.
So did you take a personal loan over 50 years?
Back in them days, I used to get $2 a week pocket money for school.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I used to give them half back.
And you've been a car nut ever since?
Ever since.
Well, we're here at the annual show and shine. It's a little bit overcast today, but I tell you what a good turnout.
It's been fabulous considering the wet weather. We've probably got Holdens, Buicks, Chevs, Oldsmobile, heaps of Monaros.
Well, Greg, a real sad thing is the fact that no more manufacturing for the Holden in Australia, but the history of Holden, I tell you what, that's going to go forever and a day, isn't it?
Oh, look, it'll live on. And I think since the factories, or since the Holden particularly is closed up, I think it's made the cars more popular.
They have, and it seems to be that a lot of people now are trying to get cars that are a lot more original, in their original state, like the family car, and the value just gone through the roof.
Oh, it's gone crazy. Like I've got a friend that's here today, and he's got a Brock Commodore, a VL, which is a plus pack.
Yes.
And just a little while back, about 2 years ago, he was thinking of selling it. The bloke wanted to give him $40,000 for it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And he thought seriously. He thought, no, I'm going to hang on to it. And he just took it to Bathurst to a Brock rally, and he had a couple of people that want to buy it off him for $100,000.
Oh my goodness!
But already he's decided, no, I'm still hanging on to it because it's a lovely car.
And these are the stories I really love. That's the good thing about cars, especially Holdens. You can talk about them, and I love the fact, Greg, that you can go to a thing like this, a swap meet, and you can just stand there with your arms folded, and you can talk car crap forever.
You can.
That's the best part about it, isn't it?
Yeah, and you always meet good people that are car people.
You do.
I've met some fabulous friends throughout Australia that are car people.
Yeah. Well, Greg, one of my favourites is the HQ, the Classic HQ, and in fact, I owned one. It was a 25th anniversary special. It was an auto on the tree.
Oh,
and
that would have been a premiere for the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, it was the silver one.
It's silver with a silver vinyl top.
Yeah, I sold it for $1,500, and the guy that bought it off me rolled it about 3 times across the Batman Bridge here in Tasmania when he fell asleep.
Yeah, joking.
What a shame! What a shame. Oh. Talking about HQs, it sort of started off with the Belmonts, didn't it? And the best part about the HQs, they had like the panel van, they had the ute, the family wagon, and of course later on in life they did HQ racing, which could have been a bit of a demise for HQs, didn't it?
I think that's what cleaned them out.
It did clean them out, didn't it?
It made them scarce.
It did.
Yeah, it sort of made them scarce.
So if anybody out there, their nan or pop or even a friend's got a HQ or even a HG or any type of Holden that's old in the shed, please look after it and restore it, because it's going to be worth a bucket, isn't it, Greg?
Oh, look, they are, and they're just a pleasure to have.
They are.
And look, there are a lot of them, they're just old cars to drive,
yeah,
but they look fantastic.
They do.
And enjoy cleaning them.
It's something about just the look and the style and the feel and everything, isn't it?
Yeah, enjoy cleaning them.
Yeah, and it's all about memories and talking like you and I are about Holdens.
And it's funny thing, you get certain models like EH and HR.
Yeah.
When you open the door, they've got a certain squeak about them. They have. Yeah. And I've got friends that own HRs and that now, and they come to visit.
Yep.
And you can tell it's them when they pull up by the sound of their door opening and closing.
And I can remember my mum saying I knew when Dad was home because the door had opened and squeaked.
That's
all those things. And the sound of a Holden V8, you can't replace that in any other car, can you, Greg?
No, not really. No, they're marvellous. I mean, the old ones tend to have a lot nicer sound than the newer V8s. I've got a new Monaro as well. Yeah. But they just don't sound quite the same.
No, they sound a bit tinny, don't they?
Look, even though it's a beautiful car, and when you drive it, you wonder why you want an old one.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's an old one's an adventure. You put your window down, you don't need a radio, you put your foot down, the noise comes out the back end.
Now, speaking of HQs, you've got your very own HQ Monaro here, Greg. Tell us a bit about this one.
Well, this one is 1971, and it's a the original GDS coupe.
Yep.
And it's the colour's black watch green.
So it's the original colour?
It is.
Yep.
And it's got the original green houndstooth seats.
And they tell me this is the first time you've ever taken it out in the rain.
It is, yes. Yeah, it's never been wet before.
That just goes to show Greg's commitment to the Monaro Club, I can tell you.
It took me 4 years to build this car.
Yeah.
And it was only going to have a quick tidy up because it was a pretty good car to start with.
Yeah.
I thought I'd tidy it up over 6 months, but it doesn't stop.
You must have deep pockets, Greg.
I've got holes in them now, mate. There's nothing left.
That's it. It's a bottomless pit when it comes to restoring cars. But I tell you what, a very fine example, Greg. Well done. That's awesome.
Thanks very much, Danny.
You'd have a lot of pleasure in driving that, wouldn't you?
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
It's that long since I've driven it today.
Yeah.
I actually forgot what it was like. I said to my wife when I pulled up here, I said, I forgot how good that car is. It's superb.
Yeah.
Car.
It's all about the Holdens today, and I thank you so much, Greg, for taking the time out to have a chat with us today.
Well, that's fantastic, Danny.
No worries.
Good on you, bud.
Right, so I'm here with a bunch of Holden enthusiasts, and I've got to ask the question, why is the Holden better than any other car?
It's the sound, mate.
The sound?
It's got to be the sound of those
A
V8s.
Holden V8.
Yes, exactly.
All these new ones sound really tinny in that though, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, and a Ford just doesn't cut it. I know some mates that have put together some awesome systems on their car, but they just can't come to that sound of a Holden V8.
Exactly right.
Now you mentioned Brocky earlier on.
Yeah.
So of course the legacy of Brocky lives on, and he drove some awesome Holdens in his career, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what were you saying about the Holdens? What do you think?
Something we grew up with.
Something you grew up with?
Something we grew up with.
The sound of that
Always
door
had
when it
Holdens.
opens up and creaks back? Greg and I were talking about that earlier on.
Doesn't slam them like you do on the Ford.
No, that's exactly right. They just fall off, mate. And what do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, I like them too because my old man used to have Holdens and he swore by them and he never had any much mechanical problems with them. Always looked after him and go anywhere with him. So I've just followed suit virtually.
That's awesome.
On his reputation, really.
Yeah, awesome. So why are Holdens better than any other car?
Because they just are.
They just are.
Yep.
Nothing more said about it.
That's bullshit.
So what is it about restoring cars, guys? What is it all about?
The history.
Yeah.
History of the cars.
Yeah, history of the car,
The
you
era
know.
they were. the
Yeah,
way-
Nan and Pop Poppy drove an old FJ and you thought, I've got to have one. But for me, what it is about is when I was footloose and fancy free at about 16 or 17 years old, I got my first car. And then, of course, later on, I got another car due to work and then come marriage and babies and all that stuff. And then I've got to relive it all again by going back to when I was 16 years old and buying my Holden Monaro that I wish that I still had. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, no, I love all cars, so I don't need to buy what I've already had.
So I've got Rod here with his Statesman. How are you, Rod?
Very well, thank you.
Now, so why is a Holden better than any other car?
I've been a Holden man since I was 17 and first got my licence.
Yeah.
I just like Holdens over Fords.
So your first car was a Holden?
No, the first car was a Morris Minor.
Oh. Again by going back to when I was 16 years old and buying my Ford Escort panel van. Actually, I'm going to change it to Holden.
I'm sorry about that.
No worries.